Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mark, some TCG discussions coming at you today with a recap of my One Piece day. Now, this is going to be a rather negative video for a huge portion of it because of how day one was poorly mishandled. I just want to state that overall the event was pretty cool. It was finally good to travel to be a part of something big as far as One Piece card game is concerned. So I was really happy about that. Day one of travel, my buddy Victor and I got a connection to Atlanta and then to Dallas. Arrived there about 11 in the morning. Took it out because we had to get up at 4 in the morning, and then woke up, did ratios, on deck discussions, especially for me because it's like Blackbeard. It's like, oh man, what do I do and what do I play? And then following that, we went into some more ratios for the Dofi decks that Victor and our buddy Seth were going to play. And then we play tested into the wee hours of the morning. Wake up, go to pre-registration. Pre-registration was pretty nice. So I didn't show you guys this, but I pulled this in my first case of 09. And pre-registration, I pulled a second one. So I've got two manga Blackbeards looking to get the set so I can have Blackbeard completely max rarity no matter what. It's going to be probably a while before I get the other two, but yeah, if I don't pull them. But it was really nice because I already felt that at pre-registration, even if I don't do well, I've already won the weekend. So that was pretty cool. I was informed that I was dropped from my pod of day one in C. I was kind of ticked off about it, but they were like, just come tomorrow and then you can sign up for registration. We're like, cool. I'm just going to show up on Saturday super early. I'm going to get in. That's what I'm going to do. We're just going to get in. We're going to compete. We're going to have a good time and we're going to roll some people. And unfortunately, that is not what happened. So we wake up at about roughly 4:45, leave the hotel about 5, get there about 5:20, 5:30, and we're kind of guided around by this security guard lady. She tells us to go to this building. Don't know where she's talking about. She tells us to go to around this corner and these doors are unlocked. Of course the doors are locked. And it's 50 degrees and raining, and so we're getting wet and all this other stuff, and a trio comes, lets us into the main hall event where the actual tournament's gonna be played, and people are set up on the tables. The idea was they were gonna dismiss us by tables. Super cool. So I just got my deck out, played a few practice games against Blackbeard versus Dofi. I won 2 out of my 3 games, which was pretty nice, and so I'm feeling good. I'm if I play like that, this is gonna be a good day. I could just feel I could feel that it was gonna be a good day. One of the main TOs then comes up, kicks us all out, kicks us out of the building, sends us outside. We're in the rain. It's downpouring. It's super annoying. And I'm why are we getting kicked out? And he's you guys all got to go to this building. And or we're okay, we have no idea where it's at. So we're just again walking around in the downpouring rain. There's lightning going off in the background and everything else. We get around this fence, and then he ends up guiding us on this golf cart to where we quote unquote need to go. It's this one building that has a canopy, and we're all huddled under the canopy. And then they finally let us through the doors. They had us line up against the wall. I'm lined up on the first wall next to where all the TOs are, and they said that we're gonna form a line and snake it around the building. It's super long. Could have probably fit thousands of people if you just line them up on the walls. This guy tells us, we're gonna have a QR code for the wait list in here and one outside. We're great. And then it's gonna be first come, first serve. They're gonna maintain the line on the snake on the wall. Great. This one tournament organizer lady comes in, throws the entire thing out the window, says everybody get out. It's not a thing. This isn't real. I waited to the very end to see there's still going to be a QR code inside. She said no. Get out. So we get out. This lady who just completely botched the entire process and organization. Basically, by the time I got out the door, and after I finished listening to her talk, there was already 500 people lined up at these 3 tents that both had 2 metal detector security poles. There's 500 people lined up. Me and this other guy who had been there since 4:30 in the morning walk up and hey, how is this fair? I've been here since X, he's been here since X. What's going on? We can't maintain the line because you dismissed everybody. Can we please go to the front? We've been here for hours already. It's 7:15 by this point, and I'm wet still from being in the rain of this little gaggle that they've had us run around outside in to go to wherever they tell us that we need to go. And she just tells us that it's not her problem. She doesn't care, and it's not in her control to change or do, right? She doesn't make the rules. You're the tournament organizer. What do you mean you don't make the rules? What are you talking about? If I walked up with you or some other judge and you said, this guy and this guy will be at the front of the line because they've been here all day, you think anyone's going to complain about that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this whole thing occurred because of your blatant disregard for organization. What, because the day was too big, there was too much pressure and crap going on, like you didn't know what to do? Okay, I'm tired of One Piece events being ran like this. I'm tired of half-assed, like, oh, well, you know, we'll just see about these other things and we don't really have control. All you would have had to do was listen to the guy that like said, we're just gonna keep this line and have the QR code in here. That's all you would have to do. No ifs, ands, or buts, and then people can walk through the security checkpoint after getting their like line or whatever. Okay, there are people in general registration that hadn't applied to either day that got into that tournament and I didn't. And I paid for my spot in that wait list months ago. I was there early, and I still didn't get in. 7:30 rolls around, they still don't let people through the gates when it was supposed to open. 8 o'clock rolls around, they start letting people through. 8:40, I finally get through, and there's a 3/4 of a mile long line already for people to get into the waitlist spots. And to make matters worse, I've got several people that know me or know of me walking up to me, telling me like, hey man, sorry, you're probably not gonna get in because like, yeah, like for the record, there's like 300 spots. It's possible lottery even at that, and there's no way you're gonna get in. Like spots are filling way too quick. And I'm like pissed. 9:45 rolls around, this TO walks up, looks at this judge standing at like the corner of the line that's about to like head left, and it says anyone that's at that judge back, you can just get out of line. You're not gonna get in. It's only great. And I picked up my illustration box and I went back to my hotel room, stewed, took a nap, and continued to prepare for day 2. But I just want to reiterate something. A TO telling me that she doesn't care or they don't care is same as telling Bandai that you don't care about people who give them money, that they spend thousands of dollars to be a part of One Piece Day to celebrate the game that they made, and you don't care that they put in extra effort, were extra responsible, and took care of time, took their own time away from their families, spent their own hard-earned money to be at this event. You're telling them that you don't care. If you're the tournament organizer and you say that to the competitors, you should never organize a tournament ever again. That's just my opinion. I don't care how well run it was. You're not to be in charge. You shouldn't be in charge of anything. There's no way. Like, first off, they're paid to be there. She's getting paid to be there. Okay? You're getting paid to do this. We're not. So when you screw us over, especially me, because like, I was on the wait list months ago. Okay? I got into day 2. I was like 12 seconds off from getting into day 1. So when I tell you that you tell me that you don't care that I came halfway across the country and was there before hundreds of people, hundreds, maybe even 1,000, some people, and you don't maintain order in your own venue, in your own house, and you tell me that you don't care? Oh man, dude, I was fucking pissed. I was so pissed. I was so ticked off. It's not funny. I was so livid. So livid. My buddy Vic's trying to cheer me up. I'm not hearing any of it, dude. It's the most disorganized, piss poor way to handle a waitlist I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And let me tell you how I could have made this better. This is very simple, right? This is just one way. If you're on a waitlist and you came to pre-registration, you should have gotten into the event immediately. Why? Because you showed up early. You showed up early. You register your deck for the weekend early. I'm here. I'm not one of the people that's on the wait list that may not have come halfway across the country and you just dropped me. You just let me in right there. He's got a wait list spot. Let him in. Mark him down. Here's a separate list. All these people came to pre-registration, were on the wait list. They are the first people, if a slot opens, to get in the wait list. It's very, very simple. This isn't rocket science. This isn't hard to do. Just put me either in the tournament immediately or set me off to the side and then say, all these people show up. Give me a ticket, have me go to a separate line that is away from everyone else that would be general admittance on the wait list on Saturday, and then have me, if I show up to that on time, register, and I'm good. That is how that should have been handled. They charged my card months ago. They removed me when I showed up early to pre-reg. They screwed me when I showed up to the event. I was told by tournament organizers that's not their problem, they can't do anything, and they don't really care. And this is an affront to Bandai and their event. You can't tell people that came halfway across the country, took time away from their families, and spent thousands of dollars to be here, that you don't care when they do everything right and show up early. I mean, it's just disgusting. And whoever that lady is, deserves to never be in charge of organizing an event ever again for that. I don't care how harsh that is. To tell me that, and then also, a side note, a part of this complete and order, like an utter chaos of disorganization. She had nobody maintaining the lines. So what ended up happening what ends up happening, right, is a bunch of self-proclaimed, self-entitled scrub lord pro players cut hundreds of people to be with their friends. And they got into the event. So, like, people are actively getting screwed. People are walking up and complaining to you about it. I said something to a TO. They did nothing. Yeah, or we're aware of it. We're going to try to get someone to monitor it. Never happened. So it's like, this is real simple. You need to pay people to be dedicated to maintaining order in the line. Not like gaggles. Anyone spotted walking up to their friends will be met with a harsh disqualification if they don't go to the back of the line. If you have like a restroom emergency or something like that, you need to go up to a TO and have someone verify your spot in line and then just go. If the events are going to be this hyper competitive to get in on a freaking wait list, they also probably need to open it up to more people, have more spots to fill. But we gotta get more organized in this. We can't just let like everyone show up there were people that showed up at 7:20 just walk to the front of the line and cut everybody that were not in the event. They were on the wait list. I saw them in the same line for the wait list. So anyone who is doing that crap, you needs to get checked by some security person with authority. Say, if you do that again, you're going to get banned. Go home and be serious about it. Because, like, again, if you think people who spent their time away from their family and spent thousands of dollars to be there, if you think that that is an acceptable way to handle an event when not everyone's going to get in anyway, right? It'd be like one thing if we all got in and someone cut to the front of the line. I wouldn't care, but that's not the case. These spots were competitive, and you just let literally people cheat their way to the front of the line and get an advantage and get ahead of everybody else. When I had been there for hours before any of these lazy asses refused to get out of bed to do exactly what I did to be there on time for something I paid for months ago. So yeah. Before I get like any angrier at how stupid this situation is, I'm going to move on. But as you can tell, I was pretty ticked. I probably ran it for like 2 hours for my buddy back home about this. This is the most disorganized and piss poor way to handle a wait list I've ever seen in my life. There are several ways. Like I said, you could have done it better. You could have done what I did on the pre-reg. You could have just said that anybody who actually paid for the wait list months ago, if they show up, like they have high priority, and just show them the ticks or ticket. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude. There's like so many ways this could have been handled better. That lady could have come in and just dismissed us as the snake in the line to go to the security point. Had everybody who was already lined up move into the building, line up behind everybody else, and then go. There's 3 ways this could have just gone better. But, you know, they don't care. It's not within their control. They can't do anything about it. If you can't do anything about that, like, just stop organizing events, stop being in charge of anything. You're obviously incompetent. And I know someone in the comment section is going to be saying, well, you run an event. I'm not going to run an event. It was so piss poorly handled that, like, I don't care to try to prove that right. I'm just going to simply say that, like, that's exactly how it should have gone. It's really sad that Konami can give out Nintendo Switches and run a 7,500 player event for a YCS, and 1,500 people is causing panic attacks. It's really sad. I literally don't want to hear. It's my job to fix, be the change in the world from anybody on this. And it was just all around a disgusting way. And I'm not the only person that feels this way, right? There were several people that came up and talked to me about this situation, said it was completely garbage. They cannot believe how poorly this day 1 waitlist was handled. So let's go on to day 2. Day 2 is about to be a disaster in and of itself. So I get there and about 10 o'clock, and right before the event's about to begin, I'm looking at my Bandai app. Some of my buddies had their rank and whatnot in the tournament and their round, and I didn't. So I look at my thing and it's registration with a red exclamation point. So I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I walk up to a TO and he tells me that I've been dropped from day 2. Now this one I wasn't. Again, months ago, getting free registration, have a competitor badge with a specific hole punch that shows that I'm a competitor on this day. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm dropped? And he's like, well, I don't know. It's a system glitch. We're gonna see if we can get you in last second. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you get me in that? What? If I'm not in this event, I'm flipping a table. I'm about to be a problem. I'm literally about to be a problem. You're not gonna tell me that I over $1,000 and traveled here to compete when I was in the event months ago, and you're telling me that I'm not in. I'm about to raise a problem. I'm about to raise a problem. And to make matters worse, I get over there, and I'm not the only person this has happened to. There's 2 or 3 other people that were just dropped from the event randomly for no reason. Absolutely no reason. So I get in. I do get in. Head judge is sweating bullets because he's like super nervous. And my tournament life begins, playing Blackbeard. Round 1, play Plouffe. I win that. He literally couldn't keep a board at all. I was just straight up destroying everything. He let Laboon and .Q live, and that's like a death sentence in that matchup. He just kept going at life, which was a common theme for Plouffe players. I really don't understand why they kept doing that. I already found a way to punish it. If I play Plouffe again and I see them do one attack sequence off at not my board, I'm just going to counter. I kept taking life, and I think I could have not done that against my second Plouffe matchup and saved myself. If I had one life, I definitely probably could have done something. But I win that. We talk a little bit about it. We go on to also want to say this. Shoutouts to the Foot, who was in the blue-purple Luffy mirror match at the end of my blue-purple video on the channel. He was actually sitting across from me to my left, right next to my first round opponent. It was super cool to meet you. Just want to give you a shout out on the channel. And then Bonnie, he was playing Bonnie, and he sat down against Lucci round, and I was like, ugh, that's rough. I squeaked out the win against Plouffe. I say squeaked. It was a good one. And then round 2, I play against Nami. I got sacked so hard by that deck. Triple Kaya early, quad peel off, and an impel down starts trigger out of life. I got her set up in a kill position with double Burgess, Van Augur, Laboon, and Teach is going to come down. But the top deck at 4 was peel off into Search, and then I died. So, yeah, that was pretty annoying. And then round 3, Plouffe. I made a slight misstep. His Luffy Taro his first Luffy Taro could have died, and I just, for some stupid reason, like pitched stronger for Hachinosu and my leader effect, thinking that like I didn't think that I had used a stronger on the leader effect, like for the Hachinosu search early, and I thought I had one in my hand, and life gave me Shigan, draw for turn with Shigan, and I was like, this Luffy Taro's crisp, and I go to look at my hand, and I have no stronger shit. I'm like, that sucks. That Luffy Taro got a little too much attack pressure value, and then I ended up losing that game. So we're starting off X2 by round 3. I'm like, oh boy, guess we're just gonna have to win out super hard. X3 was top 64. X2 was possible top 16 or top 32. So I was like, I can only lose one more time, and my tie breaks have to be very good. But losing twice in a row means my tie breaks aren't gonna be very good, but I'm gonna stick it out to see just how far I can go. If I go X4, I'm just gonna drop, right? Like I'll drop and go try to do a side event or something and have some fun. But round 4 play against Shanks. It was a dominant win. Round 5 play against Pudding. It was a very dominant win for Blackbeard. Round 6 play Shanks. My opponent gave me second, which is wrong, and then I kill his first ace. Like, I'm literally on curve to just dominate. No Ben Beck Ben, and to top it off, he is like swung 8, played Lucky Roo. 9 Dawn plays ace, has this weird like double 4 back, and I'd had a Lafitte search and a Vasco Schultz on the board, and he like double Red Hawked both, and I'm like, ouch. Like, that kind of hurts. He goes to play the 10-12 Shanks after for the record, I did not have a Blackbeard by this point, and I didn't see .Q for like the longest time either to like have Van Augur .Q KO the Lucky Root. Because even if he pops the Augur, I just get to draw a card, and I had Burgess on the board. But he plays 10-12, knocks me to 0. The last 2 cards of my life are my 10-12 beards. I turn off the 10-12 Shanks, and I start going at board. If I get one card off that board, he loses. It's over. Like, I will actually just 10-12 him and walk him down. He's going to need to have Gold Roger to punch through. He's going to lose the game. And unfortunately, due to the fact that I didn't see my first 10 beard until the Lafitte search at 10 Dawn, and he didn't have a single brick in his hand. He went to 0 cards to protect the ace and the Lucky Room in his hand. I lost. So it was a pretty low roll for me in a matchup where I just usually dominate, and I kind of lost. There wasn't much for me to do. So we have to win out X3 the rest, right? Round 7, Dofi. And Dofi was a little bit scary. He was about as frightening as it could be. He had double Grab Blade. His first trigger of life was Grab Blade, bottom deck Laboon, and then he Grab Bladed my Burgess and then Augur. I'm like, okay, we've surely lost. We got somewhat to a stable position where I had Doc Q, a 10 beard, and another 10 beard, locking his boa. And I just decided to pass without using my leader effect, and he fell right into my trap. He played like a whole bunch of cards to the board and didn't just all in swing at my rested 10 beard or my life, and didn't get Perfume for more or play a second boa blocker. So I had Hachinosu and a counter in my hand. I draw for turns Vasco shot, play down Hachidosu, ditch the Vasco shot, look at the top card, it's Liberation. I don't even take the other two, I just put it to the bottom. I liberate his Spellblocker, swing 10, 12, 12 while he was at 2 life, and he didn't have it because he played everything to the board, and he lost. He was like flabbergasted, like, whoa, what just happened? And I was like, yeah. And this top 5, just like Goku Search, yielded to him a Gecko, which could have picked up a Boa, which just would have won. I kind of got lucky there, but I did win against Dofi. Played against Lucci. I called him out. I did a 10 swing against him that would have put him to 0, and he gave me 3 2Ks. And then next turn I killed him for that because I was like, there's no way you have another 3 2Ks with Lucci in your hand. I had accounted for 1 at the bottom of his deck, the 3 there, and there were 4 others in the trash. I was like, no, you're cooked, bud. So won that. And then round 9 was a Nell. That was easy. I walked that down so fast. That round literally for me took like 5 minutes to win the game. That's all she wrote. It was pretty easy. So my opponent was like, did you really have to drop triple Burgess? I was like, yeah. I had 3 in my hand to start the game. He also had like double Lucy in his hand, and he's like, I thought about keeping the Lucy, but people have been playing around Blackbeard, like just play around by playing at 8. And I was like, well, I had 3 in my hand, so I played 1 on curve at 4 and said, let's see if we can do something about it. He's like, yeah, I couldn't do anything about it. I put the 2 Lucy's to the bottom of the deck. Even if he had Lucy, though, I had stronger Shigan in hand. Like, it was dead. I told him, I was like, that's unfortunate. Like, 8 Dawn, I played 2. I played 2 Burgess, and he was like, oh boy, I really hope he doesn't have Teach in hand. I had Teach, and then he Rygo'd, swung 9. He did get me to 0. 7 cost, and I was like really strong in that matchup. He did knock me to 0 on it was 7-7. I was like, I have 10 Beard stun on the card. If he does that here, like, I'm fine. Played 10 Beard. I stun the Enel, stun his lead. He's at 2 life, so then it's like 5, and it was like 8-8-8. And he actually had the counter to defend it, but he had like 2 cards in hand. Plays Rygo, attempts to swing 9 for game because I was at 0, but I had counter up to 11 in hand, so I was not dying to Rygo all in, and I knew that. And he's like, if you have another 10 beard, you can just show it to me. I was like, yeah, sure. And then I play it, and he's like, you're the one who should disappear. And he looks at his life. He's like, that's not it. Or Veggie. And it would have been like, it's like the only, I was like, you're the one, into like Veggie. Like, that was the only way he was going to win. It was unfortunate, but it was easy. I've practiced that matchup like way too much. I just know how to like walk him down. But he was really cool. We talked about it afterwards, and he was like expecting a lot more Dofi, but he only played 1. All the Dofis were in pot B. It was like kind of crazy. All the killers were in pot B too. But yeah, it was pretty good. We went X3 even though we started by round 3 X2. Finished pretty well. Unfortunately, my tie breaks took me to 108th, even though you could make top 64. I had the same record as someone who got 47th, probably due to my losses. Like this is the stuff that also makes me mad about like competitive events. Like round 2 Nami. If that guy doesn't stay in the tournament and then just drops after beating me with his Saki deck, it's like, all right, dude. Like my tie breaks go down to the drain. Same thing with like Purple Luffy. Like Purple Luffy is like statistically one of the worst decks to take. Same thing with Shanks. Both of those decks are like statistically 2 of the worst decks to bring because the likelihood that you're going to lose is extremely high. And so like if they just drop, right, then I'm cooked. It's just tough. It's just tough. So I got the same record as 47th, but my placement due to tie breaks was 108th. I think going X2 and going 5-1 from there is like a pretty strong showing. And getting luck sacked by Nami to put me in 1-1 situation was like, what can you do, right? Like, what can you do? So it's just unlucky, and sometimes these things happen. Then we got some food at the Cheesecake Factory, and then Monday we headed home. Overall, really good day, and the event ran pretty fast and smoothly. Like, I'll give them credit for that. Like, it was super smooth. But whatever that debacle of bullshit waitlist stuff that was going on for day 1, that was really stupid. I really hope that Bandai gets wind of this and other players use their voice to talk about how poor the organization was and how unfair it is. Like me, I was about as innocent as you could come. I showed up early. I paid for that spot months ago. I was there for pre-registration, and I was running around in lightning and rain only to be told where to go, told where to stand, told where to be, and I got screwed. And then I was just met with, I don't care, there's nothing we can do. Okay. All right. And for me to go halfway across the country and pay the money that I did and not be with my family to come compete and participate in this, what I consider to be a relatively important day, that was pretty disappointing. It just was pretty disappointing. I really hope that they change whatever that is. And I'll also state this. I have competed, as I've said previously in a different video, in multiple card games, multiple regionals, and I have never ran into something like this. I have been playing competitive card games since 2013. 2013. I have qualified for Nats for every year for any card game that I have ever gone to a regional for. I have topped every regional I've ever gone to. So when I tell you that this was a poorly organized way to handle a waitlist, which for the record, basically what happened here is you had two different chances to get into Nats. That's what this was, two different chances. For me to not get one of those two chances after how hard I tried to show up and to be met with the callousness that I was and watch quote unquote pro players cheat their way to the front of the line and cut everybody just to be with their friends and so they could all get in together, and it's like this cutthroat, shady, backdoor business bull crap because there's no organization to keep it in check. It's pretty demoralizing. And I also understand why some of my subscribers, some of the discords that I'm a part of, don't want to go to these events. Because if you're a casual player, why would you ever try to attend one of these events? Why would you ever? You're not going to get in. You're literally going to get cutted, cheated, and be told by tournament organizers that they don't care. Why are you going to take time away from your day, take time off of work, and use your vacation to travel halfway across the country to be met with this crap? They need to fix something. Because this is disorganized as hell, and honestly, it was disgusting to hear what the tournament organizers had to say about it. That's enough of my rant. Thank you guys so much for sticking through. Overall, I'd rate it, the trip was not bad. Right? Trip was just not all that bad. It was not that bad. I won, but there were lots of people who didn't win like I did. And it's pretty annoying. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Let me know if your guys' experience was good at One Piece Day if you were there. Shoutouts to everybody, literally everybody. There's too many people. I try to name some people, but I know I'm gonna forget. All the fans that came up to me, it was really good to meet you, really good to see you, to hear your guys' stories. Some of the players that I played in tournament before, it was cool to see you again. Shoutouts to Jonas and Jackson. Jonas, it was just good to see you again. As far as Jackson, it was good to meet you for the first time. And then everybody else, congratulations to, I think her name is Kat or Catherine. She played the hell out of day 2. Represented, One Piece women are no joke. I'm just going to say that. The One Piece female players in the West are no joke. She whipped some serious tail with Lucci, and it was really cool to see her where she was. And shouts to Jules and your family. It was cool to meet you guys and just everybody else. There's just too many people to name. There's too many people to name. But thank you guys so much, as always, for your support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Look forward to some gameplay, and I will catch you guys next time. This is Marcus from TCG Discussions, signing off. Laters.
起きる起きる起きる